So we are recording this segment of the meeting.
I'm recording I'm recording my speech, yes.
Okay, great. So do you have the speech title?
Yeah, speech title is Knowledge versus Wisdom.
Okay, you can share your screen now, DTM Abdul Fattah.
Yes, I will at the right time, yes.
Okay. Okay, I'll tell something about you that I like, DTM Abdul Fattah. I find your character, you bring an element of fun. Yes, you always have your mascot no matter where you go. Me too. I love your sense of humor. And I think that's what shines the most for me. You can relax everyone in the room, and that's a great skill to have. So without further ado, we'd like you to see your speech. Please share your screen.
Thank you. Fellow Toastmasters of Jaha, good afternoon to you. Before I start my presentation, I would like just to give you a brief about me. I had a twin brother who passed away 5 years ago. We were born at the same time in the early 50s. We graduated at the same time. Now, during those years in the 60s, we used to acquire knowledge by actually, apart from the school university, we used to go to the public library, physically go to the public library and spend hours and hours. But once we go home, we had a lot of time to play with each other, to connect, to be together as a family. Now, nowadays, acquiring knowledge has become so easy and so within reach through the internet, through tablets, through iPhone. You can get it, you don't have even to go anywhere. But this has taken away our time of being together as a family, of being compassionate, of communicating with each other. And that's why I'm going to talk today about knowledge and wisdom. Because when you have time to think, to reflect to it, that helps you to get wisdom. Now, before I go to my presentation, I would like to ask the public one question, to ask you one question. Now, you can see this. This is a tomato. I would like to see a show of hands, who can tell me if this is a vegetable or fruit. Is those who think it's a vegetable, please raise your hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those who think it's a fruit, 2, 3, 4. You cannot do both, Rafiq. I'm so sorry. So we've got half and half. Half say it's fruit, half say it's a vegetable. I will let you know later. But let me at the moment start by going through my presentation, and I hope you can see the screen. Okay. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk today about knowledge and wisdom. Now, some of us actually might confuse between both. You know, say, oh, that guy's really knowledgeable and he's really wise. But are they really the same? Wisdom and knowledge? I don't know. Let's find out. Now, first of all, let's look at the definition of knowledge and wisdom. Knowledge is, as we all know, you go to school, you go to college, you go to university, you do research, you study, you make research, you make investigation, observation, experience, you get a degree, you become, I don't know, you have a master, you have a PhD, and you become a so knowledgeable person. And getting knowledge never stops, because learning, as we all know, is a continuous process. And I would like to here quote the guru of management, Peter Drucker, who said, learning is a lifelong process. Now, how about wisdom? Let me just have a little, how about wisdom? Let me have, because this is in my way. Now, wisdom, ladies and gentlemen, is defined as follows. How do we acquire wisdom? We acquire wisdom by experience. You spend so many years in a job, and then you make mistakes and you fail, and then you learn from those failures. That gives you wisdom. You step out of your comfort zone. You have the courage to try something new. You get knowledge and you become wiser. You try new things. That helps you to become wiser. Mastery of crisis. You go through crisis. I remember during the 90s, we had crisis when I was a channel manager of a 5-star hotel, which is next to Aramco, Tehran International, and we're going through the Gulf War. It was one of the most difficult moments. We had crisis, but we had sailed through it safely. Being a good listener, and we all know leaders, great leaders are leaders who are good listeners. Now, if you're a good listener, you learn. And last but not least, being open-minded and having foresight. Open-minded to learn from anywhere, from any source, from anybody, and open to ideas. Don't discourage them. Don't say, oh, no, I don't agree. Listen, take it, come back, discuss it. You might come to what we call a compromise. And Aristotle said about wisdom, knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdoms. Now, what are the differences? I mean, I don't know why this tomato keeps coming up in all the slides. I know I asked the question whether it's a fruit or it's a vegetable and you've been split half and half, but it doesn't matter. Maybe we'll get the answer why this tomato is growing and getting bigger. Now, knowledge. Knowledge is power. We know all that. The more you have knowledge, you can climb the ladder and you can reach higher positions. That's what we say, knowledge is power. But wisdom is the choice to use that power. You can be an autocratic leader. You can make the wrong decisions, you know. But if you are a wise person, you know how to use that power, when to say what you want to say, how to handle situations. 2, knowledge is knowing what to say because you know it, because you are an expert in your field. But wisdom is knowing when to say it and how to say it. You might have an employee and you might, you know he did something wrong, and you come there and you talk to him in a rough way in front of his colleagues. That will create a negative thing. But if you just let it go, bring him over, talk to him on the side, explain to him the good things which he did, and explain to him why he can do better. That is wisdom. And that's why we say knowing when to say and how to say it. Now, while wisdom requires education, because you need to know, if you want to talk about something, you have to know what you're talking about. Education does not necessarily make you wise. You can have somebody who's got hundreds of several certificates on his wall because he has 2 MBS, he has 2 masters, he has PhD. But is he wise? Not necessarily, unless we see his behavior. The tomato. Now, everybody was surprised. I was actually wondering what a tomato has got to do with knowledge and wisdom. Now we're going to find the answer. You see, knowing that a tomato is a fruit, ladies and gentlemen, I used to think it's a vegetable. But what I found out that apparently vegetables have stems, they have leaves, and they have roots, while actually fruits, they have seeds. So really, because tomato has a seed, then it's considered as part of the fruits. All right, now we know. Now we have the knowledge, knowing that tomato is a fruit. But how can we be wise about tomato? Where the wisdom comes into it? knowing not to put it in a fruit salad because it's a fruit. So that's where the wisdom comes into it, ladies and gentlemen. Now, happiness, I would like to conclude by saying happiness is when you think, when what you think and what you say and what you do are in harmony. That's what Mahatma Gandhi said. That's a combination of your knowledge and wisdom. To conclude, I would like to say the following. No matter how far you go in life, you can become a super DTM, you can become a world champion, you can become a CEO of a company, a large company. No matter what stage you reach in life, never, ever forget to be grateful to those who helped you along the way. Humility. And I would like to say, finish with this quote, appreciation is a wonderful thing. It makes what is excellent in others belong to us as well. This was a quote by Voltaire, who's a French philosopher. So gratitude, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to say thank you. Thank you for listening to me. And part of the gratitude, I would like to say thank you for those who mentored me, those who helped me. Thank you, DTM Shakil, who took my hand from the beginning of this Toastmasters journey. And thank you, DTM Nazir Al-Qasim, also for continuing the journey where DTM Sheikh Shakil has left. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for listening to me. And I'm so happy that nobody has interrupted me, because the project was about looking for somebody to interrupt me, somebody to sneeze, somebody to be awkward, and I'm supposed to handle that. But since you haven't, thank you very much. I think I managed. So I'm going to stop sharing now and go back to the Toastmaster of the day.
It was too engaging. It was too engaging and riveting.
Of course.
Yeah, we were amazed.
DTM Abdul Fattah, you were very transparent in your communications. So I just wanted to tell everyone, I don't know whether he was expecting me to share this. DTM Abdul Fattah has been a leader for 40 years.